Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl, Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring. I think we are definitely in the depths of hell now, and it's official because it's snowing. It was 80 degrees yesterday. 80 degrees. But here we are, and it's snowing. Like it was in the depths of December. But here we go. So if you are new to my lovely little area, what I do is I basically take a lot of the algebraic components that you generally see in the GED, the ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, the TEAS test, the HESI test, anything that has to deal with algebra. And we go over a couple questions. And what happens is if you think you know the answer, you put it into the comments. I may read your name. I may miss your name, depending on how many people are here. But then, after we get everything all situated, I actually go over the problem to make sure that you are okay with it. So this is definitely, if you are brand spanking new, you always said to yourself, I hate math. Math is the devil. I don't want to deal with this. Every time I think about math, I break out in hives. This is the live for you. All right, so we're going to take a look at a couple of problems that I actually have in my latest book. Yes, I've just released a book out last night, aka early this morning, so it won't be officially out on the A until Sunday. But we got here, what is the length of the diagonal of a rectangle with the length of 8 and the width of 8? A length of 8 and a width of 6. Got excited for a second. All right. So is that diagonal, yep, not bringing any people in. Don't do that invite stuff. No, not here because I'm not sure what you guys are bringing to the party. So it's either A, 10, B, 14, C, 24, or D, 100. So let me know what you have. Go ahead and put it in the chat. If you like what you see and like what you hear, awesome. If you don't, awesome. Either way, it's pretty cool with me. So let's see who we have here. Okay, well, good morning, Phoenix Queen. How are you? I love how you say good morning. Gotta love it when you're on the other end of the world. Oh, things are not happening here. What's going on with my laptop? There we go. All right, so we got some hundreds, we got some D's. Oh, you got a 99? Awesome. A little bit of celebration with Phoenix Queen. Congratulations. Not a problem. All right, so we have our A. We have, hey, Miss Kitty. How are you? Good morning to you. OHCH. Okay, I see with the A's. Tragic with the 1. Okay, Jose. How are you, Jose? Jeremy, you're saying 10 with A. Okay, Lord, D with the C. Okay, your final answer. That's what you're saying, Daniel. All right, you're already locked in, clocked in. Awesome. So, I got some A's, got some B's, got some C's. All right, at least we're all in agreement. Well, someone did say 100. All right, so here we go. Woman, what's the answer? Well, thank you for recognizing my sexuality. I greatly appreciate that. I know, the anticipation is driving you crazy. So let's take a look. So when we have our rectangle, and we're talking about this lovely diagonal. So that means rectangles, we know that each has 4 90-degree angles. So we're saying that length is 8 and that width is 6, and we want to figure out what that diagonal is. So if let me see if I can grab a piece of paper. If we just simply ignore, where'd my paper go? Here we go. If we ignore this top portion and we just kind of focus on that bottom one, doesn't matter if either one, we have a 90 or a right triangle. So right away, we should be thinking about that A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And the reason why we think about it, because it's engraved in our head. And I know your teacher is like, remember this. Now, These two sides right here, they're called your legs. And your legs are interchangeable, which could be your A or your B. So it doesn't matter which one is taking on the A or which one is taking on the B. But your C is always going to be the side that is directly across from your 90-degree angle, because that's called your hypotenuse. So now we have our 6 squared, which gives us our 36. Our 8 squared, which gives us 64. Okay, it's not 12 and it's not 16. Stop it. Okay, because we have a squared. That means that exponent is telling the base how many times it's going to multiply itself. So 6 times 6 gives me 36. 8 times 8 gives me 64. So now 36 plus 64, that gives me a big whopping 100. So now we have our 100. We need to get rid of that square. And the only way we can get rid of the square is to do its inverse, which is a square root. So now that we have that square root of 100, knowing that it is a perfect square, that will give me a positive or a negative 10. But since we're talking about length, we're going to focus on the positive 10. Okay? So your answer for this, for those that said A, good job. Okay? For those that weren't too sure with the others, I know some people got the 100, but you probably just forgot to square root both sides, so that square and that square root can cancel out. Okay? All right. So let's take a little gander at the next one. Like I said, most of these are hot off the presses, so I didn't really give enough time to make it all cutesy and beautiful. But that will be my chore. All right. Hey, Candy, how are you? Okay, trying to pass the admin. You need a lot of much help. All right, got you. Chosen B, close enough. Okay, didn't come here to feel dumb. Well, wise. No one's not trying to make you feel dumb. That's something that was interpreted upon yourself. You're not dumb. So obviously you're new, because we don't do that here. All right. I know, right? Bipolar. How am I? I'm breathing. So let's see. A circle is inscribed in a square with the side length of 10. What is the area of the circle? Is it A, 100 pi? B, 50 pi, C, 25 pi, or D, 10 pi? All right. Okay, so I definitely got a couple C's, my 25 pies. Okay, potato is soup. Got my C. Tanya squared got my A. The Reels got my C. Zach got my C. Roger C. Okay, thanks so much for the follow. Rekatra is a C. Lordy is a C. Katie, we got with a C. We have a C. C for Candy. Candy, Candy, Candy. All right, so here's what's going on. They said the circle is inscribed inside of a square. So I'm going to try. This is going to be funny because I am an artiste. All right, so we're saying the circle is inside. So the side lengths are 10. So if we think about it, that means the whole diagonal, your diameter, okay, that whole thing is going to be 10. So they're asking for what is the area of the circle. So we need to know what area means. So area for a circle is your pi r squared. Okay? So notice everything is going to be in terms of pi. That's what pi is actually spelled, not P-I-E. We're not hungry right yet. Okay? But if they're saying that the whole length of the side is 10, that means your diameter is 10. But we want half of 10. So that's telling me from here to here, that's called your radius, from the center of the circle to a point on the circle. And the radius is half the diameter. So that means our radius is 5. So where we find the r, we're going to put that 5 down. And since we can leave everything in terms of pi, that means we're looking for an exact solution, okay? So estimating is when you use 3.14. So if they ever say to estimate, you're replacing that pi symbol with 3.14. Generally, they do that. But if they want exact, they're leaving it in terms of pi. Now, 5 squared is not 10, okay? So D is off the list. 5 squared is 5 times 5, so that gives me 25. Then I bring down my pi. Answer is C. All right? Gold stars, blue stickers, and all of that jazz for all those that said C. Okay? For if you didn't say C, that's okay. Because you know what? We're going to learn this stuff. It's fine. We're going to take it step by step. Let's put it this way. It's snowing in Baltimore when it was 80 degrees yesterday. Nothing is perfect. It's all a mirage. All right. So now let's amp this up a little bit because I don't do too much geometry, but we should bring this in. So they always want to ask about volume. If you're going for your GED, this is a 4-point question. Okay, if you're going for the ASVAB, this is a higher advanced question. So you'll definitely be either in the late 50s, early 60s when you start seeing volume. Okay, so you know you're doing well if you're taking the test and you start seeing slope. That means you're right on the cusp of that, cutoff of the 31. All right, so that's how you kind of get a feel that like, okay, I'm doing pretty good. But if you keep getting things like distance formulas, you keep getting things like basic arithmetic, like adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, fractions, and percent, so you're getting a lot of that, you're under that 31, okay? Just to kind of give you an idea. So now we're going to talk about the volume of a sphere with a radius of 3, and they want us to leave it in terms of pi. So we want to find the volume of a sphere. So we have A, pi, 12 pi, B, 36 pi, C, 27 pi, or D, 9 pi. What do you think? I almost feel like saying, can you guys tell I only got 3 hours of sleep? Because I keep doing stuff for you, darlings. And I'm going to make an announcement soon about it. All right, so Lucy, we have our C, cream pie. We have our 36 pi. Olivia, we got B. We have 9 pi by Hammock. Okay, is that Kumar with D? All right, so we got D with Ven, D. We have D. We have 131. Okay, we want to keep it in terms of pi. So what was the formula? Okay. So one person so far asked me for that. Okay. So for our volume, so since it's for the whole entire sphere, so I know that 4 pi r cubed, or really the square, is going to be for the surface area. But if I divide this by 3 and I make sure I raise it instead of to the second power but to the third power, this will give me my volume of a sphere. Okay. All right. Thank you, Adam, for the follow. All right. So we got that. There you go. All right. So now that we see it. Nope. Surface area is 4 pi r squared. It's 4 areas of a circle. That's surface area. Okay. All right. So here we go. So they're giving us what the radius is. So the radius is 3. So now we have our 4/3 pi. And we're going to keep it in terms of pi, but instead of the r, we're going to put a 3. So just like the order of operations, okay, do not go multiplying, Okay, we need to do parentheses. Okay, inside the parenthesis, don't really have anything, but we do have an exponent. So 3 to the third power, not 9. I know someone's going to say 9. So 3 to the third power, that's 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, but 9 times 3, that gives us our 27. So now I'm going to stick my pi symbol over here just so I can get out of the way. But I'm going to multiply now that 4/3 with our 27. Now, when you multiply a fraction with a whole number, one of the things you can do, you can make that whole number into a fraction without losing its value by dividing by 1, because anything divided by 1 is itself, right? Same with multiplying. And what you could do, instead of dealing with larger numbers, because if you are doing your GED, your ASVAB, your ACCUPLACER, you cannot use a calculator. Yep, can't use it, okay? So we're going to have to use a little bit of our lovely tactics. So we do what's called cross simplify. So 27 and 3, they both have 3 in common. So 3 divided by 3 will give me 1. And 27 divided by 3 will give me 9. So now what's left over? 4 times 9, which gives me 36. And then I can bring down my pi. So my answer is going to be B, 36 pi. Okay. Gotcha, Olivia. Yep, no calculator, Neek. That's what I'm saying. Like, especially like if you, sometimes the GED will show a calculator on the screen, but like for you to have it the whole time, nope, no ma'am. Okay, you're gonna have to get that calculator. And for the ASVAB, they're only gonna give you 1 minute to answer each question. Like literally a soldier's gonna be like, next, you should be on the next one the whole entire time, okay? It's not gonna be like, oh, silence, I can reflect on my life. Nope, okay. All right. Thank you, Brooklyn. Appreciate that. Okay. But here's the funny part. You still got to deal with math. There's no ways. Where'd you get 4? Explain. So if we're looking at a sphere, if I did surface area of a sphere, and here's one way that you can do it at home. Ready? If you take an orange, white piece of paper, any kind of paper, you lay that orange on a piece of paper, have your pen being perpendicular to your orange, and then draw a circle around it. Draw 4 circles. After you draw your 4 circles, take the peel, just peel the orange, and fill your peel, and it'll fill exactly the 4 slots, the 4 circles. The area of a circle is pi r squared. Other than having a nice, lovely smell in your home, you just did a fun way of discovering what the surface area of a sphere is. All your peels will fill exactly 4 circles. So that's where you get your 4 pi r squared. And the reason why I'm using squared is because it's surface area. But once I go into the volume, I have to take into account dividing by 3, because now I'm looking at the circle or the sphere this way. Sorry, my sphere things are a little crazy. And this way. Okay, so I'm looking at the 3 dimensions. So then that square has to turn into the third. Okay, so that's how it transforms from what it was in red, the surface area of a sphere, to now you're changing your 2's and dividing by 3. Okay, pi isn't 4. Okay. We have a hater in the chat? Of course we do. Have you been to my lives, Kelly? I always have haters in my chat. But But just like most of my haters, I use them as my motivator. They can call me anything they want. I know who I am. All I know is I believe I'm doing God's work. And that's all that matters. Sorry. Right? Right, Mom? He's going to hate. Not a problem. I don't mind doing that. Oh, isn't he lovely? Hey, Lisa G. It keeps kicking you out. What's going on? I'm sorry I got back to you late, Lisa. Oh my goodness. Hopefully you had enough time to do all that. Yeah, someone just wants some attention. All right, so let's take a look. I'm going to rewrite this so we can get it into its nicer term. So this is actually saying 3x squared, okay, y cubed, and all of this is being raised to the third power. So that's what, right now it's in text. I haven't made it really, really pretty yet. But my answers, let me see if I can slide it over to here. My answer, we have a 9x6y to the ninth. We have a 27x to the fifth, y to the sixth. Then we have a 27x to the sixth, y to the ninth. It's supposed to be a 6, so sorry. Then we have 9x to the fifth, y to the sixth. Swing that over just a little bit. Okay. So which ones? Which ones? Yep, you're good, Brooklyn. Here we go. No, you're not dumb. I need for you to stop. Okay, 420, thank you. Hey, Mr. Baker, welcome back. Appreciate that. Yep. So you guys got to understand, it's not a competition. Now, you're not that little kid that used to be in that classroom, people that would tease you like, oh, you don't know how to do it. Because middle school was rough, right? And the reason why I say this is because that used to be me. Yeah, like I just wanted someone to break it down to me, or you're already judged for you not knowing something because no one's ever taught it to you. So now you're older, you see math, and right away, I got a math phobia, or, oh, I don't know how to do this. And then all of a sudden you pop out a couple of kids and they're coming to you like, Mommy, I don't understand Singapore math. And you're like, neither do I, just add. So this is what we're doing. Within 4 years, I get it. So we're looking at A or D. That's you, exactly. And there's some people that had to leave school for whatever circumstances, like a passing, or maybe you were going through adopted families, or you had to stop going to school to take care of your younger siblings. Everyone has a story. But the only thing is, eventually you're going to be like, I really want to understand this so I can get rid of this ick feeling, right? So I get it. Now let's take a look. Everything inside of this parenthesis is going to be raised to the third power. So that means your 3 is being raised to the third power. Your x squared is being raised to the third power. And your y cubed is being raised to the third power. So now 3 to the third power, that is not 9. This is 3 times 3 times 3, which we saw that earlier, which gives me 27. So right away, A is gone and D is gone. So now we got to understand what goes on when you have a power being raised to a power. When you see a power, an exponent, really, a parenthesis and an exponent. Parentheses, if we see it any other light, we will think of it as multiplication. And guess what? That carries over here. So when you have an exponent or a power being raised to a power, you multiply your exponents. So actually, this is going to give me the base of x, but raised to the 6th power. Now do the same for the y's. Now we have y cubed raised to the 3rd power. So when you have a power being raised to a power, you're multiplying. Okay, if you see an exponent, a parenthesis, and an exponent, you multiply those bad boys. Keep the base, multiply the exponents, you will get your 9. So you cannot combine these two different bases. X and Y's, 2 different worlds. They can get next to each other, but they cannot blend. All right, so your answer here is going to be C. Okay, makes sense? No stupid question, my dear. The reason why it's 27, because 3 cubed, that's saying we want to multiply that base of 3 times. Okay, so if I said 4 cubed, that means I'm multiplying this base of 4 to itself 3 times. And then 3 times 3 times 3, this gives me 27. And this gives me 64. Okay. Awesome. Okay. All right. So that's it. There's no solving because, 1, make sure we take a look. It said simplify. So simplify, there's no equals. There's no equal sign. So we don't have anything to solve. That's as low as it goes. All right. So now, let me see if I can get with this one. And let me rewrite this one for you. Like when I said, I literally was just putting some of this stuff together. So SQRT, that means square root. So we have the square root of 50 plus the square root of 18. Okay, so this is seen GED, ASVAB, ACCUPLACER, TEAS test, HESI test, STARS, PERT exam. What else have I been doing? Praxis. Doesn't matter which freaking praxis. College algebra, all you people out there, okay? So we're basically adding these two together. So for option A, it says the answer is the square root of 68. Option B gives me 8 times the square root of 2. Option C gives me 15, the square root of 2. And D is just 34. Okay, be right back, okay. So user 45 is saying B, Mean Gene saying A. Here, I love the way you break this down. Oh, well, thank you, Esther. I appreciate you. And I appreciate the work that you're doing, girl, please. Because I used to be in those meetings. And there was a couple times in meetings, especially when the parent was watching, what were they watching? The Price is Right in the background screaming, but they couldn't come to the IEP meeting. That was the last time I went to IEP meeting at that one school, because I was like, if you can't come here because you were too busy watching TV, that means you're wasting my time. And I hung up the phone. It felt so good. But I mean, literally, come on. It's about you. All right. Okay. All right. So we got A, we got D's, for Chucky. Hey, Chucky, how you doing? Dell with the B. Okay, Marco, thank you. Not a problem. Yo, what's happening? We are breaking down and adding square root of 50 and the square root of 18 together. Hey, greetings from Tijuana. Hello, Marco. Too real. I know. It's so ridiculous. See, I was one of those teachers that I will do for my kids, but at the same time, no. I will call you out in a heartbeat, but I will do everything. That's why I almost had a heart attack. So I had to stop teaching. So confused about where you got the cube from the last question? Well, Speedy, we were looking at sphere And let me see, I used to have a ball representing a sphere, but then I have something called a cat. So we know how they love to play. Looking at me with your judgmental eyes. Oh, wait, hold on. Got you. You take my ball, I take your toy. Okay. So anytime we're trying to find volume, it's almost like I want to know how much water, which is not waterproof, how much water will fill this container. So I'm not looking at it as a one-dimensional or two-dimensional. I'm looking at all 3 dimensions. So I have to use raised to the 3rd power. Anytime you hear of anything to be filled, you should be thinking of raising it to the 3rd power. Okay? All right. That was that. You should see the look that my cat's giving me because I'm touching her toy. Now, square root of 50. That's not a perfect square root. But we can break this square root of 50 into what's called a perfect prime combination. Now, if you don't know what a perfect prime combination is, guess what? I got you. This is why I stay up late at night, because I put together what's called a factor sheet. So with this factor sheet, if we can see right here for 50, we have 1 and 50, 2 and 25, and 5 and 10. Notice the 2 and the 25 is highlighted in red. Well, the 2 25, that gives us our perfect prime combination. So the 25 is your perfect square, and your 2, or square root really, and your 2 is your prime. Now, if you're just like, well, what's a perfect square? Well, I got you over here. So if we take a look at our squares, a number that is raised to the 2nd power or a number that's being multiplied to itself is a perfect square. And if we want, we got our perfect cubes. Okay? So, have all this listed in several of my books, but let's break this down. So that means we have square root of 25 and the square root of 2. Square root of 25, as I showed you, is going to be 5. And it no longer has to be under the radical. Because since it's a perfect square root, it gives us the result of 5. Now, the square root of 2 is a prime number, and it's actually the first prime number. So since it's prime and I can't break it down, I just simply bring it down. So I have 5, the square root of 2. We have our lovely plus sign, so that bad boy just comes on down. And let me use a different color so you can see what's going on with the 18. Because the square root of 18, that's not perfect. That can be broken down to a perfect prime number as well. So if you want to go to the handy dandy factor sheet. All right. So we have our 18. Our factors of 18 are 1 and 18, 2 and 9, and 3 and 6. What's highlighted in red, that's going to help us break down these lovely radicals. So 9 is our perfect square root. Taking a look. Because if I break down the square root of 9, I'm going to get either a positive or a negative 3. But we're going to take a look at the positives. So I have 9. I like to put the perfects first. And then I put the prime right after. So square root of 9, as you saw, that gives me 3. Square root of 2, that comes on down. Okay. All right. Yes. I would, Chucky, if I were you, I would definitely see if you can memorize your squares and your square roots. The squares, if you can get it up to 11, 12 would be ideal. But if you can get it up to 11 squared, that'd be great. But for your cubes, if you can get it up to 5, Sometimes 6 kind of helps. That would be like your best bet. Now, this, for my GED people, this is a 4-point question. So we don't want to skip these. If you skip this, like, oh, this is hard, I'm going to skip it, you're never going to pass the GED. I'm going to be very blunt and honest with you. Okay? If you do well with the basic arithmetic, the distance formula, and you skip all of the slope equations, how to graph a line, how to do your equation of the line, you're not going to pass. Calculation, math-wise, you're not going to pass because every question is not graded at the same point level. You have 1-point questions. You have 4-point questions. This is a 4-point question, okay? Now, we can combine these two. The reason why I can, because they both have the same radical. So what I can actually combine is the 5 plus the 3. So 5 plus 3, that gives me 8. And the square root of 2's, when you're adding and subtracting, they're only there to find your like terms. So your answer is going to be 8 square root of 2. I know 5 years later, we're finally getting to the answer. But I like to make sure that you understand where the steps are coming from. This is going to be the place. If I'm too slow for you, I greatly appreciate you coming in. I greatly appreciate you tapping. But I'm going to be truthful. I like to break things down. There are several other people that goes a lot faster than me. There's several other people that goes into calculus, always want to take the derivatives of something. Have fun with that. But for me here, I like to take it step by step. Okay. All right. Where are you going to use this? Oh, I'm so glad, user 23, you asked me that question because your girl put a book together to answer that question. It all depends. One, where do you want to go? What job do you want to have? Because I had one of my former students, she was like, Miss Audrey, because that's why I had the kids call me back then. I just did an interview for a nail salon to work as their receptionist. And they gave me math problems to solve. Not basic like how much change should a person get, what's the percentage of this. She's like, I was doing algebra. And I was like, yeah, because that's how they divide you out. I want you to be in the room. I want you to control situations. I want you to take over. Okay? So in order for me to do that, this is why I teach this. Okay? All right, almost done. Oh, how to get the copy of the book? I got you. Because actually, let me see if I can get snag 1, maybe 2 more questions in, and then I got you. Because I am actually doing a book, and this question, and a couple of these questions, especially this one, I know I have to shrink it. I'm so sorry. But this one, I'm actually putting it in my book, problem number 6. So it says, what is the area of a square with a perimeter of 24? And you're probably like, when are we going to use this in life? Well, this is like a career that's in cluster 1. So construction, okay, looking at architecture, looking at all the basic necessities of anything of building, okay? I basically did the book on 5 different clusters, and I have like a career readiness quiz of 25 questions, and I'm still building on the extra practice problems. So we need to figure out, is it A, 24, B, 36, C, 40, or D, 140? So I'm looking at problem number 6. And I had some pedagogy questions. This was one of my mixtures. Oh wait, this is my praxis one. Oh, sorry, but here we go. You're still gonna need it. Okay. Oh, thank you for over the 10K. Appreciate you. Yep. So we got 36, we got B, we got 36, we have C. Never used this. Huh. Well, what part of construction are you doing? User 23. And also watch your language. Act like you got some home training. I know you do. Thank you for the follow. Okay, Dan B. Is that Cure? Okay. Okay. Oh, thank you, Phillips. All right. So we're going here. We're going here. All right. Now, if you're not sure what it is, you can also put a question mark because I'm still going to break it down. Okay. You're old. There's other jobs other than engineering that does this, Susan. Yep. Everyone thinks it is. Sugar Plum, hello. How are you? Yep. Thanks for the follow. All right. Good. Okay. So we got this. All right. Perfect. So many things. So let's take this step by step. We're looking for the area of a square, but they gave us the perimeter. So if I have my square and I know what perimeter means, one thing, squares, all four sides and all four angles are congruent. Okay? But we're focusing mainly on the sides. So if we're saying the perimeter is 24 and all four sides are supposed to be equal, let's take this 24 and divide it by 4. The reason why I'm using 4, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sides and they're all congruent. So 24 divided by 4, that will give us our 6. So that means this side is 6, that side is 6, this is 6, and this is 6. But now it's asking what is the area of the square. So if we know about area, you can say it's length times width, you can say it's base times height, you can say it's side squared. Either way, you will get the same blessed answer. So for us to get the area, we're going to take our sides, which is 6, and square it. So that's the same as saying 6 times 6. And 6 times 6, that gives me 36. So the area of the square that we're looking for is B, 36. Okay. Right? That's so true, Nana. So true. It is. It's like, and plus, after a while, you want to just have a space where you can just breathe. I don't want to hear about political for one moment. I don't want to hear about you and your cat videos. I don't want to hear about how I can like take this, exempt it, and I can lose my weight. I can do this. I just want to just work my brain in a calm, serene fashion and just be like, oh, this is really not that scary. Like I'm helping you to face your fear. Because trust me, people, we've been traumatized. Okay? We have been traumatized. We have been plotted against other classmates. Oh, he's got it faster. He rose his hand faster. Remember how we used to like almost kill ourselves to raise our hand fast, to be the first one to raise our hand? And then we get called on and we're like, I don't know what you want. I just wanted to be first. So these are the things that I like for us to do. Okay, unfortunately, I'm going to have to wrap this up. But here's the thing. If you are going after your GED and you're just like, I don't know where to start. It's great that you're coming on for the free content. It's great that you're jumping on with my lives. Hopefully you're going to other people's lives as well, learning some things, unpacking. But here's the thing. Don't be a squirrel. Meaning, don't just collect all this information and then do nothing with it. All right? So, couple things before we skedaddle. I would love for you to follow some more people. Okay? I know not too many people do this, but I am not like everyone. I'm Audrey. This is it. But they're all here on TikTok. So I don't know what exactly you need. So if you need more information with the GED and the ASVAB and more worksheets, you can also go to Impact Math 19 with Miss Taylor. She's amazing. She breaks a lot of stuff down. Very similar to me. Then if you are in nursing and you need help with the doses calculations, make sure you see a blessed RN. She is an RN. She's in the mix of everything. So it's not like just some person that like graduated from nursing school like 10 years ago and just really haven't done anything with it. Like she's still in the trenches, okay? Now, if you or someone you know is struggling with chemistry and trying to do the balance of calculations, make sure you see Professor TK, because I know that AP Chem exam is coming up. And if you want to learn the basic tactics of math, like really understand what were we doing before algebra came into play, or even before we had to memorize what 1 + 1 = 2. What did it mean? So my friend Lynette, she's doing awesome with this, breaking a lot of stuff down. And if you need someone more advanced, you can go to Mr. M. He does everything from like 7-year-olds, I think, all the way up to like 12th graders. But if you really need help with like pre-calculus or calculus, I can do pre-calc, not that AP pre-calc, because that could go back to the depths of hell, which it came. But the pre-calculus, I can help you with college algebra because I tutor from 7th grade all the way up to adults. So I understand, especially when you're trying to go back to school and you're trying to understand your professor and they're jamming all this stuff in your throat in a matter of days, not even weeks, days. So I get you. Red Indian, hello. Anyone for reading, definitely message me because I do have a couple friends, but I think some of them are not here on TikTok. I'm still working on that. But if anything, give me some time. A lot of my replays are here. Okay, go there and then go to this channel. Make sure you subscribe too. But if you do need me as a tutor, you want me one-to-one, I charge $87 an hour. Yes, I did not hesitate, and I am worth every single solitary penny. So again, I go from 7th grades up to adults. So I do Algebra 1, Algebra 2. I can help with homeschooling parents. But I know things get tough and things get tight. So that's why I decided to create these workbooks called Algebra at Your Pace. Now, Algebra at Your Pace, you basically have me as a tutor and you can play anytime you want. So here's the novels. Okay. So for volume 1, if you are really struggling with integers, decimals, exponents, this is the starting part. So what happens is you can scan the QR code. This QR code will take you to a live video of me breaking down, in this case, square roots. So when I break down the square roots, I give you a place for you to write down your notes. I also give you some helpful hints. And then there's a section in the videos where you can practice. So I give you a section where you can practice. Everything could be inside of one book. Then on top of it, I give you some extra practice problems. With the extra practice problems, if you flip to the back of this, you will see that I will give you, the answer key. Okay, so you don't have to go trucking onto the back of the book for it. Then at the end of the volume, you always get an end of chapter quiz. Okay, most of them are multiple choice. Some of them are going to be grid in. And then, of course, I'll give you the answers. But if you want more detailed answers, I do give you an opportunity that you can purchase the video of me actually breaking down. And when you purchase, you're purchasing all the answers that's in this volume. Not just one thing, the whole entire volume. All right. Now, in addition to all that, everybody needs support. So with this first one, I give you some reference pages. So if you are struggling, let me unzoom just a tad, like the rules of integers, positive, negative, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, you got that. If you're doing decimals, fractions, you got that. Also going from percent to decimal, decimal to percent, fraction to percent, all that fun stuff. All the rules are right here. Your order of operation, because there's sometimes you can remember it, sometimes you can't. And it's all in one book. It's not like, oh, well, you have to buy the resource book and oh, you got to buy this. I even give you, even though we're not doing the factorization, I give this to you because I know for sure you're going to have a kid that's going to come up to you and then you're going to be sitting at that lovely dinner table and you're like, I wish I got her factor sheet. Boom, it's right here. Okay, order of operations, and then I give you some flashcards because you are working on exponents. Give you some suggestions how to use the flashcards. Now you could just do a matching game. So this side is the question, this side is the answer. So 2 squared times 2 to the 4th, they have the same base, so that means I'm adding the exponent. That's how you got your 2 to the 6th. And if you ever get stuck, guess what? You can probably contact me. Just send me a message. You can scan that. Takes you right to my website. And everything is all in one spot. So you have that, volume 1. Volume 2, you have the functions and fractions, ratios, order of operation. Volume 3, solving equations. So 1-step, 2-step, multi-step equations. Volume 4, the linear equations. Volume 5, inequalities, system of equations. Now, I really believe, especially those that are taking the GEDs that you want to skip, usually this is the areas that you skip, the linear equations. This is your slope. This is your equation of the line, parallel lines, going from slope-intercept form, graphing, okay? The part that you guys always want to skip, okay? That is volume 4, okay? Then we have our system of equations. Now we're going more into those 4-point questions for GED, more slightly advanced questions, getting over that 31 hump for the ASVAB. Then we have factoring, definitely 4-point questions. How to break it down. Factor by using the GCF. Okay, multiplying binomials and polynomials. Dividing polynomials by a binomial. Okay, all of that is in here in one sweet book. Then there's a couple others because I haven't got my shipment yet. So we had 9 and 10 dealing with rational functions, 11 dealing with radical functions, 12 and 13 we're looking at more geometric, and then 14 and 15 is looking at probability as well as the different types of graphs like a line graph, a circle graph, and so forth. Okay, all of that is that. You want to cry? Oh my God, don't cry. Don't you cry. Okay, now this, for these books, for pricing, you can either, because I have a link in my bio which will take you straight to it, you can either get a physical book, which is the $24.99, or you can get a digital copy at $12.99. Now, if you're getting the physical books, it's going to take you to a link directly to the A. We all know what the A is. All right. But if you want more of the resources, you're just like, let me see if I could just touch up on some resources. Because last night I released a sample test book with like 6 different tests in there for GED, ASVAB, ACCUPLACER, and just Algebra review. Okay. So because a lot of the times you want to do well on the test and you're trying to get a lot of the free stuff, or you're probably trying to go to ChatGPT. Okay. You signed up but didn't receive your book. Definitely send me a message, Paulette, because there were some people that I emailed, and I can definitely, let me take a look to see if you were one of the people that emailed and you probably didn't see the email yet. So let me see what that is. Okay. All right. If you're going to walk the stage May 8th. Awesome. Okay. So let's get this done. So if anything, you can have the algebra at your pace. Also, you can have a lot of my resource books. Some of them are coming into flashcards. So here's the rest of my, all the exponent cards. Like, all you can do is just print them out and you just make them like little flashcards. So that's before and that's after. Or this is before and that's after, if you want to do the factoring. So you can make little flashcards for yourself. It's great for if you want to get your kiddos ready for algebra and you're just like, I do not have $87 to pay for a tutor for an hour, you know? And you can basically tell them, all right, I want you to sit here for a half an hour. I'm timing you, and you're going to show me what you've done. So if you're a homeschool parent, that works great for you. If you're a classroom teacher, this will be great for like that assessment. Like maybe, especially that one young lady that was talking about being a special educator. You might just need like something extra to kind of help. And having them scan their phone and they can get the video off their phone, it's not too bad of a thing. Okay, but definitely. Okay, so lots of stuff going on, lots of books, lots of resources, but I am here to help you out. And hopefully either tomorrow or Saturday, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my ebooks that I am definitely promoting, because these are going to help you out quick and dirty. And then plus you can download it and just use it whenever you want. Sorry, I had to do the puzzle piece. Okay, what's the name to put in? So we can have algebra at your pace, or you can put my name in, Audrey Codner, Codner. Okay, even if you put in ACG math tutoring, that should come up as well. Okay. All right. So if you need my name, it's Audrey Codner, M-A-T. Okay. And if you just see algebra at your pace, you'll be good to go. Okay, you're so welcome. Okay, so I'm still working on a couple things, but I'm trying to give alternatives. I just want you to be able to grow and achieve. So if anything, a couple things that you can do for me, that would be awesome, is follow me. That would be awesome. Okay, so if anything, how you can support me, just give me a quick little follow. You can follow me here on TikTok. It's like Audrey Codner or AC Math Tutoring. You can follow me on the A with Algebra with Audrey Codner, or you can go to the YT because that's where the replays are. There's literally a playlist that I've been doing this since February 2nd of last year. So it's definitely over 300, well over 300 videos on there that can break down concepts for you. So if you need help with factoring, if you need help with the 4-point questions of the GED, if you need assistance with, I don't know, ratios and distance formulas, and you just name it. If it's algebra, it's in it. If it's on that test, especially the GED and the ASVAB, it's in there. All right. Okay, so I gotta skedaddle because I have to go and tutor. RAL. If anything, O'Neill, message me so I can take a look at some people. I do know some people, but some of them are not here on TikTok. So I just want to see and make sure I can get the right person for you. Okay, so just message me. So if you guys are messaging me, do not just send me a message that says hi. I will delete it. Or, hey, I'm going to delete it. Like, tell me what you need, because I'm getting a lot of scammers, which, you know, the more popular you get, the more scammers you get. So it's like, hey, your girl is famous. So again, if you need me, I'll put this here. Okay, the link is in my bio. If you're ready to purchase, Paulette, please make sure you message me so I can get your full name and I can look that up for you. Because, you know, doing big things and I'm doing new things. And guess what? There's no one else here. It's just me. Okay, so I do not have a VA. I don't have anyone else being all popular. Like, this is it. It is an army of one. Okay, and it is a very fun and dangerous army. Gotcha. All right, so have an amazing day, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Okay, take care. Bye now.